What if I told you Japan is part of the fentanyl crisis? Not a victim, not a bystander, but possibly a silent accomplice. Fentanyl is destroying America. Tens of thousands die every year. China makes the ingredients, Mexico produces it, and now Japan may have been used as a hidden transit hub. How did this happen in a country known for safety, law, and order? In this video, we'll uncover the terrifying global network behind fentanyl, and why Japan's involvement might change everything. Let's begin. Is Japan involved in the fentanyl crisis? What if I told you Japan might be part of the fentanyl crisis? A country known for order, safety, and zero tolerance for drugs. Could it really be a silent link in a deadly chain? For years, fentanyl has been seen as an American tragedy. China supplies the chemicals, Mexico makes the product, and the U.S. pays the price with over 100,000 deaths a year. But now, shocking evidence is emerging. According to a recent investigation by Nikkei, Japan may have been used as a secret transit hub, not as a producer, not as a consumer, but as a middle point where legal shipping hides illegal cargo. Japan, the land of customs checks, strict ports, and tight law enforcement? How could this happen in a country where even marijuana is taboo? The answer lies in global networks. In supply chains so complex, even honest ports can become part of the problem. And in blind spots where trust is high, but awareness is low. So here's a question. Do you think Japan's reputation for safety might be the very thing that makes it vulnerable? Let's take a closer look. Because if fentanyl can pass through Japan, it can pass through anywhere. What is fentanyl and why is it so dangerous? Fentanyl is not new. It was first developed in 1959 as a powerful painkiller for surgery and cancer treatment. In hospitals, under strict control, it saves lives. But outside the hospital, just 2 milligrams can kill you. That's smaller than a grain of salt. Fentanyl is 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even touching it can be dangerous. It works fast, slowing your breathing, your heart, and then stopping everything. So why is it on the streets? Because it's cheap to make, easy to ship, and terrifyingly addictive. Dealers mix fentanyl into pills, powders, even fake prescription drugs. Many people don't even know they're taking it until it's too late. It's not just heroin addicts, college students, teenagers, people trying pain pills for the first time. One mistake and their life is over. In the past decade, fentanyl-related deaths in the U.S. have exploded. It's now the #1 cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45. This isn't just a drug. It's a weapon hiding in plain sight. And the most frightening part? It's synthetic, lab-made. No need for farms, no fields, just chemicals and a recipe. That makes it much harder to track and even harder to stop. This is the drug at the center of America's overdose crisis. And the world is only beginning to understand its power. America's collapse, the new opium war. What happens when a drug destroys not just people but society itself? That's what fentanyl is doing in parts of America right now. Streets filled with people standing but not conscious. Eyes glazed over. Bodies swaying. Moving like zombies. Not dead but not alive either. In places like Oregon, Philadelphia, and San Francisco, entire neighborhoods have turned into what some call zombie towns. The homeless crisis, the drug crisis, and mental illness all collide. And fentanyl is often the spark that lights it all. This is not just a health issue. It's an economic issue, a political issue, and some say it's war. Many American commentators now compare this to the Opium Wars. Back in the 1800s, Britain flooded China with opium to weaken it, and then invaded when China resisted. Today, some fear a reverse version. China ships chemicals, Mexico assembles them, and America falls apart without a single shot fired. The death toll from fentanyl now rivals war zones. But there's no army, no enemy you can see. Just a quiet collapse, driven by despair, poverty, and a system too slow to respond. Fentanyl doesn't just kill, it breaks families, it erodes trust, it hollows out communities. It's not just about drugs anymore. It's about whether a nation can survive from within. How it all started: China, Mexico, and a perfect network. So how did fentanyl go from hospital medicine to street poison? It all comes down to one word: efficiency. Unlike heroin or cocaine, fentanyl doesn't come from plants. It's made in labs, using chemicals fast, cheap, and easy to hide. In the early 2000s, small labs in China began producing synthetic opioids. They shipped directly to the U.S., sometimes through international mail, sometimes disguised as supplements. Then came regulation. The U.S. pressured China to crack down. So producers adapted. Instead of sending the drug itself, they sent the ingredients. Those chemicals were routed to Mexico, where powerful drug cartels turned them into fentanyl. The result? A deadly pipeline. China, Mexico, United States. It's fast, it's cheap, and it's very, very hard to stop. These cartels, like the Sinaloa and Jalisco groups, operate like multinational corporations. They use encrypted apps, drones, submarines, and they mix fentanyl into pills that look like legal medicine. Most victims don't even know they're taking fentanyl. They think it's Xanax or oxycodone. One pill is all it takes. And once addiction begins, the market grows. Demand increases. The supply adapts. This isn't random crime. It's industrial. It's global. And it was built with terrifying precision. So while the West was sleeping, a new drug empire was born. Why Japan became a transit hub without knowing. Japan, known for tight borders, strict laws, and low drug crime. So how could it become part of a deadly fentanyl network? The answer is trust. Japan is respected for its honesty and order. That's why it's the perfect place to hide something in plain sight. According to a Nikkei investigation, a Chinese chemical company moved operations from China to Okinawa and then to Nagoya. It shipped legal substances, but quietly, those shipments included precursors, the ingredients used to make fentanyl. Why Nagoya? It's one of Japan's biggest industrial ports, home to Toyota and many exporters. A place where massive shipments go unnoticed. Criminals use this cover. By mixing legal and illegal cargo, they avoid detection. And Japan's efficiency works against itself. The system trusts what's declared. Inspections are fast, automated, and often skipped for trusted exporters. Add to that a large Chinese diaspora in Japan, with family ties and business networks that criminals may exploit. And what do you get? A country that believes it's clean, being used, quietly, as part of a deadly supply chain. No violence, no headlines, just logistics. Japan didn't create fentanyl, but its infrastructure may have helped it move. Could this happen in your country too? Japan is one of the safest countries in the world. Strict laws, low drug use, clean cities, and yet it was still used. So here's the question. If it can happen in Japan, could it happen in your country too? Think about it. How well does your country inspect international cargo? How many packages are scanned? How many go through without a second look? In Japan, the systems are efficient, but they trust exporters too much. In other countries, corruption may be the bigger issue. In some places, a small bribe can open a gate. In others, understaffed customs offices can't check every box. Criminals know this, and they adapt. They use ports with the least resistance. They exploit both trust and weakness. So here's another question. What do you think is more dangerous, naive trust, or predictable corruption? The fentanyl network doesn't care what kind of system you have. It only cares if there's a gap, a blind spot, a loophole. Japan wasn't targeted because it's weak. It was targeted because it looked strong. And no one suspected a thing. That's why this story matters. Because no country is immune. Not the corrupt, not the honest, not yours, not mine, not even Japan. Behind the scenes, technology, cryptocurrency, and the dark web. The fentanyl crisis isn't just about drugs. It's about technology. In the past, drug trafficking meant cartels, smugglers, and cash. Today, it's laptops, crypto wallets, and encrypted chat apps. Criminals now operate like startups. They don't wear ski masks. They wear suits. They write code. Need fentanyl precursors? Just search the dark web. Want to pay anonymously? Use Bitcoin, Monero, or other untraceable currencies. Want to ship it across borders? Use fake invoices. Mix it with legal products. Send it through express delivery or international mail. Everything is digital, and the scale is shocking. In 2023 alone, U.S. authorities intercepted over 200 million fentanyl pills. Many of them looked exactly like normal prescription drugs. And they didn't come in big containers. Just envelopes, small boxes, hidden in toys, electronics, or cosmetics. The tools of global trade, once symbols of progress, are now being used for silent destruction. And the criminals behind it? They never have to touch the product. They manage it all remotely from computers. This is why the war on drugs is no longer a street fight. It's cyber, it's global, and it's evolving faster than governments can react. As long as these tools exist, so will the fentanyl network. Why no one can stop it, not even the U.S. government. America has the world's strongest military, the best intelligence agencies, the most advanced technology, and yet fentanyl keeps winning. Presidents come and go, but the overdose numbers keep rising. Why? Because fentanyl is not just a drug. It's a shapeshifter, a network, a system. In 2019, the Trump administration declared war on fentanyl. It pressured China. It built a border wall. It blamed Mexico and threatened sanctions. But the problem continued. In 2021, the Biden administration called fentanyl a national emergency. They imposed sanctions on Chinese companies. They increased funding for border control and awareness. Still nothing stopped it. Why? Because every time a loophole is closed, another opens. Because this isn't a battlefield. It's an invisible web of labs, shipments, and messages. Unlike terrorism or war, there's no central leader to target. There's no flag to burn. No headquarters to bomb. Just scattered actors, hidden code, and global logistics. Even with global cooperation, governments are always one step behind. Fentanyl is faster, smarter, cheaper. It doesn't need tanks. It only needs time and silence. That's why this isn't just about politics or law. It's about imagination, and whether our systems built for the 20th century can survive a 21st century crisis. Japan's hidden risk. Could fentanyl spread here? Japan has long been proud of its safety. Low crime, low drug use, high trust in society. But that pride can become a blind spot. If fentanyl can quietly move through Japanese ports, what's stopping it from spreading inside Japan next? Right now, fentanyl use in Japan is rare. Most people haven't even heard of it. But ignorance doesn't equal immunity. In fact, it can make a society more vulnerable. Dealers are smart. They start small. They mix fentanyl into other drugs, or sell fake painkillers that look perfectly normal. In a country where drugs are taboo, people often don't ask questions. That silence can be deadly. Add to that Japan's aging population, and a growing number of people living alone, feeling isolated. That's the same emotional landscape that made fentanyl explode in America. Despair, loneliness, hopelessness. When life feels empty, a small pill feels like escape. Japan may not be there yet, but it has all the ingredients. The question is not if, it's when, and whether Japan will act before it's too late. This is not just America's problem anymore. For years, people saw fentanyl as America's drug crisis. Something tragic but distant. Something that happened over there. But now, that illusion is breaking. Fentanyl isn't just crossing American borders. It's crossing moral ones, legal ones, cultural ones. Japan was supposed to be untouchable. It wasn't. If fentanyl can slip through Japanese ports, what does that say about the rest of the world? We live in a global system now. A package shipped in one country can arrive in another within days. Criminal networks know this. They move faster than governments. They adapt faster than laws. What we're facing isn't a drug. It's a mirror. A mirror that shows us where we're weak, where we're blind, Where we trust too much or not enough. America may be the epicenter of the crisis, but the ripple effects are coming. Europe, Asia, Africa, no country is immune. The question I show: will each society respond? Will they wait until the streets are full of overdose victims? Or will they act before the damage begins? Japan was lucky this time. The story came out early. The warning arrived before the fire. But warnings don't save people. Actions do. Fentanyl is not just a threat. It's a test of whether we can protect our people. Not by looking away, but by finally paying attention. Cultural habits like this may seem small, but they reflect big ideas. How does your culture compare? Let's share and learn from each other. Leave a comment if you'd like. And please like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.